Picking up. So we were on number 8. If you guys are looking at page 249. So the axis of symmetry is a line. Now, I hope you guys remember this. This was a little bit ago. But do you remember when you're graphing lines? Remember having y equals mx plus b? Do you guys remember that? Okay, do you remember that there are two special lines? Y equals something. It's what kind of line?
Vertical.
Horizontal. X equals something.
Vertical.
That's what we're talking about. It's a vertical line that cuts that parabola in half. Okay, so let's look at number 10. Number 10 on page 249. Number 10, just looking at the axis of symmetry. What is the equation of a line that cuts that parabola in half? It's an equation, so I need 2 parts at least. X equals 4. X equals 4. Because what does that line, it's a special line. What kind is it? It's vertical. And how do we write the equations of vertical lines? X equals something. And what's that something? It's 4. And by the way, what's the vertex? Because some of you are identifying that. 4, 1. You know what the axis of symmetry is really related to?
I thought you wrote it backwards.
No, it's 4, 1. Because you went 4 over and then up 1.
But then you told us to write it backwards. And the maximum value is 1, right?
The maximum value is 1. I don't think I said that.
You told us to write the y first.
No, he told you to write the X first.
It should be X and Y. If I said that, I'm sorry. It should be X and Y. But Jack?
Is it possible to have an axis of symmetry the other way?
No. Because here's an example. So you have your parabola, and you guys can see you have one going that way, right? But is there ever going to be a way to cut it where it's equal when you fold it? No, because it keeps going wider and wider, so it's never symmetrical that way. Are there times where you have symmetry going multiple ways? Yeah, like a circle. You can cut it in actually an infinite number of ways, but that's not one of those. Okay, last thing I'm going to go over, it's actually the easiest one, so this is nice. If you're still on page, actually I have it. Yeah, 249. Here we go. We're going to look at what we call X-Intercepts. Does anyone remember what a Y-intercept is? What's a Y-intercept? Okay, it is B, but what does that mean? What's a Y-intercept?
When the line crosses the X-intercept, or the X-axis.
Okay, an X-intercept is where my graph hits the X-axis. A Y-intercept then would be where a graph would hit the Y-axis. So look at numbers 7 through 10. We're going to do all those. These are your options for how many intercepts you're going to get. You can have 1 intercept. That's one possibility. It hits the X-axis at 1 point. You can have 2 intercepts. It hits the X-axis in 2 points. Or you can have 0 intercepts. It never hits the X-axis. Those are your options. So look at page 249 at the very bottom. Look at number 7. Don't tell me anything other than how many times does that graph hit the X-axis? Twice. Does anyone know where on the X-axis? -3 and
0.
positive 3. So you would say X-intercepts. We said -3 and positive 3. That's your answer. That's how you identify the X-intercepts. In this case, you had 2 answers. -3 and 3. Number 8. How many times does that parabola hit the X-axis?
0 times.
0 times, so you would put no X-intercepts. Or none. No X-intercepts?
No.
Number 9. How many times does that parabola hit the X-axis? It hits it once. Where?
-1.5.
Good. It's X-intercept is -1.5 or -1.5 because it only hits it once and it hits it right there at -1.5. And then number 10, how many times does it hit? Twice. Where does it hit? 3 and 5. So the X-intercepts are 3 and 5. That's all you're doing. See how easy that is? That's x-intercepts. Where does the graph hit the x-axis? Sometimes once, sometimes twice, sometimes no times. All right, go ahead. It's easy, guys. I hope you can do this quickly. Goodbye. So.